You've ever set yourself a goal, crushed it for 2 weeks straight, just to completely stop, abandon it, and hate yourself for it? Good things first, this isn't a discipline problem. Let's take going for the gym as an example to explain this. I want to get fit, and I set my goal of going 5 times a week to the gym. I'm going all in. And I start going for a week, 2, maybe 3. And then something happens, and I just stop. I think we all know that. We are failing our goals. And what does our brain do? It collects this evidence of failure to shape our self-image. Okay, let's start with the negative proof. What do I mean by that? Let's take the diet example again. Imagine you want to get healthier, or fitter, or lose weight. You make yourself a plan, and you're very ambitious. Let's say you cut out sugar, no sweets, 5 times a week to the gym. You're motivated, it feels great. And in the beginning, it works. You have more energy, you're pumped, feels great, and you could move mountains. That sounds familiar? Yeah, but also be honest. How long does that actually last? 2 weeks, 3, maybe a month, maybe even 2. But then something happens. You get invited to a wedding. You eat cake, you drink something. Your plan gets derailed. And before you can catch a breath, you're back to your normal life before that plan took action. And how does that make you feel? Pretty shitty, I guess. It makes you feel like a failure. You failed your plan. And these things add up. And they are all proof that you failed your plan. That is negative proof. The problem or the reason why you failed isn't your motivation or your lack of discipline. Quite the opposite. You were super motivated and super disciplined to even come up with this ambitious plan and to stick with it for the time that you did. The real problem is that you try to make a lifestyle change in just a couple months that took you a lifetime to establish. That is bound to fail. And every time you fail one of these very, very unrealistic goals you've set for yourself, you create another set of evidence, another example for your brain that you failed. Your brain files that under, well, that is who we are. We fail at everything we try. You know that is not true. You know that's not the case. And you wonder maybe, well, can positive self-talk help? Can affirmations help? And yeah, they're great. They definitely work and they can help. I mean, the hell, if I could destroy my self-worth bit by bit through negative self-talk, I can definitely use positive self-talk to build it back up, right? But you need also proof. You need hard facts to back up these positive things you tell yourself. You need evidence that the things you're telling yourself are real. To make another example, let's take this YouTube channel. I had, or better, I still have, a very bad image of myself. I don't trust myself to do anything worthwhile or good or of importance. And that comes from a lifetime of creating negative proof for myself, of negative self-talk, backed up by negative proof. But looking back to how I felt before I started the very first video, I can definitely feel a difference. I have to be honest, there's still negative self-talk. There are still negative affirmations of what am I talking? Why would anybody listen? What am I doing here? This is shit. But they're becoming a little bit less hostile and a little less often. So there is a difference. And I catch myself thinking, more often than not, or telling myself more often than not, well, yeah, that could have been better. That could have been a little bit tighter. The pacing could have been improved. That's not how I really talk. But I feel okay. I feel good about it. It was actually fine, and I'm happy I've made that. So, over time, like a combination of positive affirmations, like, hey, it was fine, it worked, and actions, actually making the video and putting it out there, they're working together as a team. That is proof to me that change is possible, not in a flashy overnight way that, like in a movie where like a montage is happening and then afterwards I'm a completely different person and suddenly I have the silver plaque from YouTube for 100,000 subscribers tomorrow because a miracle happened. No, the change happens almost undetectably in the background. Very slowly and silently and very boring. But the change is happening because I put my goal post way down and I made it measurable and realistic, away from I have to be confident talking on YouTube to the public without pauses and it has to feel natural immediately and I need to be successful. Because, like, what does that mean? What is successful? What is speaking confidently? Like, that's not really measurable. I put it to, hey, I'm gonna post once a week. That's my goal. That way, I have something to celebrate when I've done it because I can measure that. Did I post this week? Yeah, I did. Great. I can celebrate that. That's great. I did that. I finished it. With these small wins, I stack them up over time and I get better in my self-confidence. I get more confident. I improve that naturally without really actually noticing until I look back 40 videos to my first one and remember how I felt then and how I feel now. And then you will see a change. You will see a difference. To close off with the example from the beginning with the diet, set yourself a goal that is actually achievable and that you can measure. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, put a number to that goal. Let's say I want to lose 15 kilos. And let's break that down to make it achievable and realistic. Let's say I want to lose 250 grams a week. Yeah, that's slow, that's boring, but it can happen almost unnoticed in the background. So you can actually stack wins. You can stick with it. You can actually make a change that lasts a lifetime instead of 2 months. To add to that, you can also add another realistic and measurable goal of eating 2 portions of veggies a day. This combined puts you in the position where you can have a piece of cake, where you can have a piece of chocolate, where you don't have to put yourself like into a strict cage that is bound to fail. You're way less likely to fail this goal and get angry at yourself and creating more proof that you're failing at this. You will, the other way around, you will create proof that you actually can do it and still live your life and still actually have fun. That way, you're reprogramming your brain slowly into a state where you can trust yourself again without really pushing yourself to the extremes. Your goal will be changing the average day instead of creating the perfect day. So yeah, don't say, I will never eat cake again, or in my case, I will become rich and confident on YouTube. Create a realistic goal and show up day after day and clock in these small wins and repeat them. take a goal that you maybe want to break down this week. Create something that is tangible, that is realistic, that you maybe want to do. And collect that evidence. Start clocking in these wins. Thank you so much for listening, for spending some time with me. Have a wonderful day, and see you next time.